A couple weeks ago, I uploaded my Zero Elo Uncle, where I casted some games from my uncle who picked up AoE 2 recently for the first time, and he was struggling. The video did very well. Thank you, everyone, for watching and supporting. There were so many comments, both like fun, uplifting, serious, whatever. Just everything, every metric I look for, comments, likes, views, was off the charts. So thank you very much, everyone, for your interest in this, because I was probably going to do it anyways. But ideal for me is I do it because I'm excited about it, and also the views are awesome. So if you like this one and it's content you want to see more of, please leave a like and a comment and let me know. Also, if you're not subscribed, if you're one of the like 50% of consistent viewers on this channel that are not subscribed, don't want to be that guy, but if you could do that, I'd like to hit 400K at some point. That'd be cool. So I said during the first episode that technically he wasn't Zero Elo at that time. But he was Zero Elo before. Hey, make a house, dude. Make a house. Okay, he's making a house. He was Zero Elo before, and someone had resigned 3 times in a row, didn't really play the game, and it boosted his Elo. I think at that time he was around 35 Elo. Right now, at the time this was played, he's at 29. However, he's been playing a lot of games, and so this game was a couple days after the previous video went to YouTube. He watched it. He got some of the tips there. We're going to review some of the tips that I gave in just a second, and also give you some of the feedback from him on his journey. But I just think this is so cool. There were so many comments on YouTube about people who like don't play the games themselves or did play the games. I don't know. It just feels like this whole series is going to really inspire people to either play the game or, you know, just realize that there can be a path for improvement for everybody. So, yeah, excited to see it here. He's on Arena, where you've got stone walls, and we've got a little bit more time, which is actually just a perfect map to learn the game, all right? Now, we're going to speed up at some point, but there's a couple things I think we actually need to get out of the way. First, he didn't know this. His opponent here had beat him the 3 previous tries. They had played 3 different points over a couple weeks prior. We probably can have an edit with some of the info there if you're curious about it. But anyways, this Cheetah Pero guy, 150 Elo at this time. It's normally lingering around the 150, 200 Elo. So that's pretty cool. Like, at the highest rank, I am playing the same opponents because there's only so many up there. At the lowest rank, you're also playing the same opponents because there's only so many down there. So I thought that was pretty cool. A little chance at redemption for him. Now, this particular game happened at midnight, and I watched it live. No, I didn't stream it. Okay, yes, I do stream. I didn't stream it. I genuinely, at midnight, was like, I wonder, what Uncle's up to. I wonder if he's been playing some games. And then I loaded up his profile, and it said he was in a game. And I saw he was 50 minutes in, so I, like, caught up to this game. Spoilers, it's kind of a long game. So I'm like super, super, super invested in this stuff. It's so fun. And so afterwards we texted, we talked about it. But anyways, let's back up a little bit, and getting ahead of myself, let's go through the 3 tips that I gave him at the conclusion of the first episode, okay? Tip number 1, stop using the freaking market. He uses the market way too damn much. It was really bad. Like, he would collect more resources than the opponent, but because he would buy and sell resources with crazy frequency, he was just losing out on tons of res. A YouTube commenter said something along the lines of, tell your uncle it is like he's using a credit card that gets a consistently increasing interest rate. He'll stop using the market. I texted him that, and he came back and said, well, that tracks that I'm bad with this because I was really bad with my credit in my 20s and 30s. So I thought that was funny. I guess his old habits die hard or something. So that's the main thing. And kind of along the same lines, tip number 2 was farm, because he was bringing in all this wood. He didn't know what to do with it, so he would sell it and he'd get gold, and then he'd buy food. But you can only do that so many times before the prices are just horrible. And I think I'd said 20 farms. I thought 20 farms is maybe a little ambitious for him. We'll see what he gets up to. But I really just wanted to see him just build farms, particularly in the early game. I know a lot of people like to get to feudal age and get horse collars so the farms have a little bit more food on them and whatnot. Doesn't freaking matter, really. I mean, just freaking build farms, right? They're going to reseed forever. You'll get the upgrades later. When they reseed, they're affected by that. I'm completely fine with a bunch of Dark Age farms. So far, 0 farms. He's got a couple houses in the back. Looks like the opponent has kind of a different setup. The opponent is going for kind of a classic noob approach. Why build a lumber camp and chop trees when you have all this free wood near your TC? That's the logic. So, yeah, we'll probably speed up now, actually, even though I do have a lot more to say. So it was farms. That was the one thing. The other thing, and then market, sorry, was the other. The third thing, and this is maybe the funniest, I told him to just pick a civ and continue to play with one civ. So stop playing random. I feel like there's already so many different factors you have to learn in this game. Playing random doesn't help you gain any familiarity at all. Like, if you do random and there's 50 civs, I'm pretty sure he has all the DLCs. So 50 civs, you might not encounter the same civilization till next month or the month after that. And so I wanted consistency from him. Now, I didn't want to tell him what to do. I didn't say, hey, take my suggestion. I don't really want that to be any part of this, because so easy these days. You just copy someone else's homework. They tell you what to do and you just do it. And sure, yeah, you can win more and play better, but you're not actively learning and experiencing the game. No, you're just copying someone else's homework. So I didn't want to do that. So I felt pretty confident that he could just pick whatever. And I told him, like, just pick whatever. It's fine. There could be no downsides. There's a downside. He somehow stumbled upon one of 3 total civilizations that don't have access to knights, which is a real important unit in AoE. Like, you can win games without knights, but knights is like a core unit. Like, knights is like the unit. So the fact that his civ doesn't even get it at all is a bit of a problem in my eyes. I don't know how he ended up with the Dravidians. Now, hold up. We got farms going, guys. He's made it to feudal. He's got farms going. The opponent hasn't actually farmed at all. So the opponent made it to Castle Age faster. No farms yet. They might be waiting a little bit. They're also going to make some army here. So watch out. Blue's going to make some spearmen. But I asked him, and I'm going to read this. I said, like, why Dravidians? Like, of all the civs, why did you pick Dravidians? I didn't say it in a way that implied it was bad, like I'm doing now. And by the way, Dravidians are very good, but he said, on Dravidians, I followed your advice and picked one civ. I chose Dravidians because you said you didn't care what criteria I used, even if it was the syllables of the name. Yeah, I said, like, that's pretty much what I said. I jokingly said, I don't care what criteria you use. It could be syllables. As a joke! As a joke! He said, Dravidians is tied with 3 others for the most syllables and have archery elephants. I also like the speed and the other guys in the castle get... I also like the speed that the other guys in the castle get born. So he's talking about the unique unit Urumi Swordsman. Now, I'm pretty sure Lithuanians exist, right? That's more than 3 syllables. Lithuanians, I think, is a little bit more than Dravidians. Maybe it's tied. I don't know. But anyways, he thought that was funny. I think that's funny. That's how he ended up here. Now, I don't know if he realized this, but he also ended up with the only civilization that has a unique unit with a mustache. It's kind of hard to tell with capture age. We'll have that on screen. The only civilization that has a mustache, and I happen to have a mustache, so maybe that was a factor as well. So, notice, no market usage so far. No market usage, fast castle. That is a big win. There's currently 13 farms, which is more than we saw in all the other games. And we are headed to the next age where, you know, things are going to get crazy. Blue's making some military buildings right now. Castle Age time is going to be identical, but we are way ahead. Like, we are way, way, way ahead with what we want to work with here. So I'm happy with that. Now, he was 29 elo at the time that this was played. There were many games we're going to review his profile later. But I think there was like maybe a 5 or 6 day gap between when I recorded the video and between when it went live. He played some arena games where he got attacked, and he didn't like that very much. So here he is with a secondary layer of palisade wall, just in case, you know? Just in case things get a little squirrely out there and the stone walls aren't enough. Then there's the palisade wall. You know what this is like the equivalent of? Imagine like a knight, fully armored, up on his horse. He's got all that heavy armor. This is the equivalent of putting like a little winter cap over his helmet. I feel like if it gets through the helmet, it's gonna get through the little winter cap as well. But I mean, hey, whatever makes you feel more secure in life, Uncle, you go ahead. It's not that big a deal. It just looks funny. I completely forgot this happened. Okay, so we got the second TC now. Now, he doesn't have any hotkeys, okay? He doesn't have any hotkeys except for building a house, apparently. He said he's working his way up to building a farm. The fact that he doesn't have a select TC hotkey and create villager hotkey, and he's currently sitting here churning out villagers like it's his day job, is impressive. He's got some real potential, okay? So, and I'm not just saying that, and I don't think YouTube comments were saying that either. Some people were like, oh, he's officially hooked now because he had played so much even though he was losing so much. But the goal is to get some wins, okay? To get some wins, and so I given him another tip. I said, your goal in Imperial Age is 4 trebuchets. Don't go anything below that. 4 trebs and a bunch of units from a barracks, archer range, or stable. I don't care what unit. So that was my tip, and that may be something that he ends up going for here. Now, opponent has some army, but isn't really doing too much with it. Is going for the town centers now, and has just placed a bunch of farms. While you can actually tell they used the auto farm place feature that I talked about last time. You see how fast that was? That's really, really nice. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but it is quite nice. Yeah, I mean, the opponent's way behind in terms of eco. And we are on the way to the Imperial Age already. But you could just tell he's a little scared. Like, he's not ready to fight yet. There's a time for eco. There's a time for fighting. And so his scout is just sitting back here. Refuses to leave. He's a real coward. And, yeah. We're building up. Now, I noticed that we bought the stone for a castle. So he says he's obsessed with the Yurumis. The Yurumi is a solid unit. I think the thing you need to remember with the Yurumi, it is quite cheap. I think it's only 20 gold. But it's a solid enough meat shield. The elephant archer is actually insane. If you can get the economy to afford them, they're really tanky. So, like, range, they tank basically any attack, which is really helpful. And their attack speed's pretty decent as well. It's just, I think this tech, like, he's going to get both of these unique techs. He might not even know what they do, right? So I would have suggested a civ where the unique techs always apply. Well, Medical Core, you've got elephant units regenerate 30 HP per minute. Really nice for low rank because there's like breaks in between fights. So weak units can heal back up. That's huge. And then infantry and cav ignores armor. If he's going to make your roomies, that's also a really good tech as well. We got Blue doing some things. Actually, my uncle did a couple weeks ago. He played a game with Aztecs. He never left his base, and he just sat here with these towers on the walls. Oh, so freaking cute. But Blue's going to build up quite the fortress here. And this is the economic side. And the economic side is... That's the peaceful style part of this game, right? But already, we have so many farms. We have 21 farms. He went one above what I was hoping for. Honestly, the sky's the limit there. With this much wood, you can get to 30, you can get to 40, you can get to 50. Blue is caught up with the vill count, so Blue was late with the town centers, but is really starting to ramp up now. And this is maybe getting to the point where we need to slow it down. You see, Blue is more defensive fortifications on the front in case there's an attack. That's going to be tough to deal with. And Blue also has an army, and Blue's going to be moving out here. So, now I don't know what Blue knows. Blue's making Ghoulems. This is kind of a confusing unit. This unit is an anti-archer unit. Normally, anti-archer units don't really look like that. You would think that's kind of like a pikeman. Blue also doesn't have a single blacksmith upgrade, and we are destroying our blacksmith on this side. And actually are about to have every single available blacksmith upgrade. Crazy improvement, guys. I mean, crazy improvement. This game was well, I guess this game was like 2 nights ago. So maybe a week or so after... A week 8 days, something like that after the video. He did message me. So he's played a lot of games, and we'll review his profile. But he told me that he credits his wins. He got some wins. He said at least 2 were legit, and he credits them to the farming. He said that was the big thing for him. And yeah, I mean, what a difference it makes. We actually get to keep our gold, which is really important because he hasn't actually left his base yet. So that's a tip here. I mean, there's very little action. I would say maybe try and take some of that stone and gold. If you're in arena, this isn't at a rank where people are actively controlling those yet. Just go take them. Like, put a castle here, take that stone and gold. I know it kind of feels like it's risky, and you don't want to lose anything, but in my opinion, this is a really solid way to go about it. But yeah, we're ramping up here. We're about to see something that's really interesting. So look at the population for my uncle here. He's going to go up to 100 vills and then stop. He wants to have a perfectly balanced situation here. He wants to go, wait a second. Why are we buying food? Why are we buying food for those prices there, Uncle? Why are we buying food? What did I tell you? Didn't you listen to my little spiel about credit cards? Do you know how much gold that was? Why? Just build farms, man. Just build... You're not getting the gold back. He's like, nah, it's fine. I'll just sell the wood and get more gold. I guess technically, but like... All right, I'll cut you some slack because it's a massive improvement in a very short period of time. But realistically, would have liked to see a few more farms there. But yeah, he goes up to 100 vills, and now he's got 100 pop space for army, which is really cool. I seem to recall blue does the exact same thing. Or does blue go above? It looks like blue is a couple more vills in queue. I don't know from where. Oh, they're out here. But yeah, you can kind of see, right? Like, blue is built to TC out here and is taking the stone and gold. We have the stone and gold right here, but the darkness is scary, guys. The darkness is scary. That's what I've always said while casting low elo. So, here we got our army comp. We got the Urumi swordsmen. These slappy, whippy mustache boys. Very low HP. So, they're not tanks, but that's why you got the elephants. The elephants can be the tanks. Elephants regenerate 30 HP per minute. It's not bad. 280 HP is not bad. But yeah, ideally they're going to have a meat shield. And this is like, not really a meat shield. This is like a vegetable shield. It's not very tanky. It's not very sad. It's not very filling. Sorry, vegetarians. But yeah, so it's not bad. We also going to have some skirms here. I mean, we've got a real freaking army coming. And the thing about the Urumis that he brought up, I'd never really thought of, because we always think about unit stats. But they are cheap. This is what I'd said. But then he also said they produce fast. And they do produce really fast. So that's the benefit of a unit. And that's why the unit's pretty well balanced, in my opinion. Now, blue is starting to get some relics here. And if you know AoE, like, you run out of gold. Having those relics is pretty crucial. Blue already has 2 of them. There's a monk standing here with this one. There's a monk walking over here to take this one. Who knows about this one? But, like, we are still... My uncle is scared, man. He's scared. I mean, he's building up. He's getting ready for a push, but he can't leave his base because he walled himself in here. And he's about to run out of gold, which could be an issue. But I like what we're seeing. It seems like he's probably going to max. So get to 200 pop and go for a big push. Now, Dravidian skirmishers fire faster. So this is a good unit to have here. And the elephant archers are really solid. So actually forget if the elephants ignore armor. I would guess they don't because they're like a ranged elephant. I could have sworn there was a bonus for the Dravidian. I guess it's the regenerating elephants that I'm thinking of. So, yeah, selling off some extra wood to get more gold to build up more army. All that wood's disappearing. I like that the farm count we're at. 26 is more than I was expecting. But blue's got a very big army. Now, just looking at blue, I don't think blue has any clue what these units do. I found the box formation, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I think blue's just like, I'm going to make a lot of everything, and then hopefully that works. But what blue hasn't done, and this is critical, and at blue, if you ever watch this, you're going to skyrocket your skills up so quickly with this. Blue doesn't have any blacksmith upgrades. Not a single one. Blue has economic upgrades, but no blacksmith. And that is going to be a problem because all of these units could be... Whoa. Never mind. Blue heard me. Blue is now getting blacksmith upgrades. Getting the feudal age ones anyways. But look at this, man. We've got bombard cannons. We've got hand cannons. We've got skirms. We've got the starting scout. We've got onager. Like, this is a lot of stuff. And he's been taking all the gold and all the stone outside. So even though we have collected more resources, we are now out of gold, which is an issue. But we've got quite the push coming. I said 4 trebuchets. He says I'll double that and go to 8. Last time I remember 1 castle. Now we've got up to 2 castles. This is crazy. Now, dear uncle, you may be looking at these cannons right now, and you might be thinking, I wish I had those cannons. How do I get those? When I go to the Siege Workshop, there's no cannons. Well, there is an upgrade in the university, which is a building that you do not have, which is a building I've never seen you build yet. But think of it like the blacksmith, but there's a whole nother line of upgrades. In the university, if you get chemistry, that unlocks the ability to make gunpowder. So you can make hand cannons out of your archer range, and you can make bombard cannons out of the Siege Workshop. Now, not all civs get hand cannons and bombard cannons, but a lot of them do, and the Dravidians do. So, yeah, that's something like that Unk's going to learn in this video, right? We got more castles on the back. He's real scared he's going to get pushed on the front, lose everything. Like, he wants these castles for production. He wants them safe. He's turtling in the corner, starting to get towards 200 pop. Now, in that university, there is the big upgrade, which is ballistics. That's why my casting program has chosen that one to be up here. Foot archers, skirms, mounted archers, ships, fortifications. They fire more accurately at moving targets. Big upgrade for archer units and for your castle fire. Now, neither player has it. You're going to see a lot of these volleys miss because of no ballistics. Now, here's why you shouldn't feel like an idiot, okay? You shouldn't feel like, oh, shoot, I should have known that, okay? It's super freaking confusing. That image is a cannon firing on to a castle, and yet ballistics doesn't affect bombard cannons. Yep. It's whoever came up with this 25 years ago just never thought about how weird that would be. It's very confusing. Technically, ballistics does apply to bombard cannons for 1 civ, but we're not going to get into that. So Blue's got this massive force about to knock down my uncle's door, taking all the stone, all the gold. I mean, it's crazy lead in terms of gold control. It's really sad. It's about to get relic number 5. I mean, and I guess my uncle is just satisfied just seeing those relics disappear. Might not notice these relics are gone, but we are getting close, guys. And we might have our first real kill. I think there were a couple deaths from Blue. I heard some deaths, maybe some woo-woo-woos out there. Maybe the wolves got some kills. I'm not too sure. But we've got fortified wall along the front. That's one of the upgrades in the university as well. You can just get them all, honestly. If you want to use that approach, it's fine. But ballistics is, like, key. I would also say murder holes is key. But, you know, figure that out. Never seen you make a university yet. You probably didn't know. That's fine. I quit university early on. You know. So I'm not a big university guy myself. I'm real concerned here. Like, everything was so good. So improved. But, like, just had this gold and this stone be taken. Oh, man, how good would life be? I don't care about anything else. But just having that would be so freaking nice. Now, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. We got 3 archer ranges. Only 2. He must only be looking at this area. So it's nice to have them all in the same spot because he's not producing out of this one. 3 archer ranges. We've got 3 castles. Again, only full queuing one of them. You can double click them, but it's not that big a deal. And is selling off to get more gold and is ready to attack. It's about to happen, guys. We're about to have a massive freaking battle. 100 army versus 100 army. Like, crazy stuff. But We have to take efficient fights now because we don't have any relics. Oh, yeah. And blue is building a wonder. 1,000 wood, 1,000 stone, 1,000 gold into a building that takes a very long time to build. That literally does nothing in ranked. If you play, like, quick play or unranked, it will actually trigger a countdown. So it's like a defend the wonder type thing, but it doesn't here. And here we go, guys. We've got a big battle. I don't think either player really knows what's happening here, but they're fighting. The Yurumis and the elephants can't make it through. The skirms are on the front lines. And I could be wrong, but I think he just deleted his own... I feel really bad. I'm not going to get good Christmas presents for this. But I'm pretty sure he tries to delete the wall and deletes his own elephant here. We've all been there. Yep. We've all been there. Nobody saw that. He's trying to open up his walls because of this weird blockade situation. And blue is... Oh, my God. Blue's going crazy. Blue's going crazy. Now, blue's units are actually really bad. Like, Ghoulims, in theory, are good against the elephant archers. But they were not good against the Yurumis. And we had the trebs prepared. So those 4 trebs just get clicked onto this castle. The elephants are tanking a lot. More Yurumis are coming in. A week ago, 2 weeks ago, game over right here. He gets smashed and he wonders what went wrong. But we're really prepared for this. I think blue knocked on the wrong player's door. Here's a good example. You see all these volleys missing the spearmen there? With ballistics, those volleys hit much earlier. So, blue committed to 3 forward castles. That was a lot of the additional stone that was even collected. And hasn't canceled them. And all 3 of the castles go down. The army goes down. And, yeah, we win the fight. We win the fight. And now, you know, it's on. And I'm hoping for a little bit more confidence to bring some villagers out here to take this gold. Bombard cannons aren't cheap. They're getting slapped down. Villagers over here, I guess, you know, they were just brought to this by the leftover army. So just like that, guys, we go, like, blue's already looking back home. We go way up in terms of win chances. And yes, I'm saying we because it's we, even though it's he. It's we because I'm biased here. So, a rough couple minutes here for blue, right? And now blue, I think, wants a really big army and started to delete off villagers. Blue is committing towards hand cannons, which is a very good unit. It is kind of sad, though. Blue's researched this unique tech, where all gold income is 10% faster, which is good. The other unique tech gives your hand cannons +2 range. So, if blue had that, they'd be 9 range hand cannons. They'd be much stronger. But yeah, unfortunately... doesn't have the upgrade yet. So I like this elo because it's like a fight happens. It's like everyone needs to recover. It's like you just ran a marathon and you need a day or 2 off before you get off your couch again. Farm count's still looking good. That we did all that work earlier. That probably won't change. Lots of army production from all the archery ranges. We're up to the next. We're up to 200 pop again. Would love to see villagers just clicked over here to the gold and the stone. Like, gold and stone is so critical. But he doesn't have any hotkeys, man. 0 hotkeys except for building houses. And I don't even know, like, I don't know if he's clicking build and then pressing the house hotkey. Is it build house? Or is it... He just said house hotkey. And his goal is to get to the farm hotkey. But, you know, blue's got time. Blue is very little villagers. But blue has time... And blue's really going to go crazy here. We've got hand cannons, which luckily for him are a really good unit in general. The Ghoulims are elite. More blacksmith upgrades are coming in. So that was with only feudal age blacksmith upgrades. We're going to have more armor and more attack on all blue's units. And blue is going to make siege. And like heavy onager numbers can just flatten units, but it's tough to control in all honesty. So we're like systematically moving across the map. And we click over here and we find some villagers are on berries. Kind of a weird choice. Again, with ballistics, all those shots hit. And blue has to defend those berry villagers. And here we go. The skirms are still chasing the Vill. The Onager is rocking the elephants. The Yurumi swordsmen, though, are just gonna freaking wreck those Ghoulems. And, I mean, if the Yurumis hit you, you're done. If they get hit, they're also done. But look at how quickly they mop up a group like that. That's crazy, man. And Onager hasn't actually killed any elephants yet. It just does there. But that's why I really like the elephants. And now we've got the Trebs prepared. I mean, look at this. The first attack, it was like, boom, ready. Trebuchets on the castles. Now we move forward a little bit. And we immediately click those Trebs forward. This is sick. This is sick. Blue loses another castle. Yurumis and elephants going strong. Units going down. Trebuchets need to stay alive. We have no gold. So, like, the no gold situation has me real nervous right now. But Onager is an issue. Okay, we're panicking a little bit. Need to back away. And hopefully we have more production. Now, I don't think either of these players are at this stage yet. But when you lose Vils in AoE 2, you want to replace them. But they're not able to multitask to the level to really do that. So they there's a time for eco, there's a time for fighting. When the time for fighting begins, eco's done. And in Blue's case, that's going to be really bad. Because Blue has lost 43 Vils. And Blue also deleted a bunch too, which, I mean, I wouldn't advise. Unless you're going to get up to 150, 60 army, I wouldn't necessarily advise that. So we've got a massive, massive, massive eco lead. But it's a weird situation where we just have no gold. We have no consistent gold income. The gold is right there, dude. Right there. But you know how you get gold, people? You know how you get gold? We have the eternal source of gold. The market. So, you know, sells 6,000 wood. Well, way more than that. Sold like 12k wood to get, I don't know, 2k gold. And just like that, we've got gold again. And we've got gold again to maybe make more army. Blue's good. Blue still has gold. Blue still has some food income. Blue still has the relics. And Blue is still very winnable. Still very winnable with like 1 or 2 good engagements. Neither player really knows how the other person's eco looks or anything. It's like, honestly, half of this battle is like emotional, right? Because it's like who's gonna feel like they suck the most and quit before they should. That's half the battle at this elo. But it's been cool to watch how prepped he is and ready to make army now. Like, it feels like a significant jump in a week or two compared to before. Now, it might also be an arena thing. I've noticed, again, we'll review his profile, but arena is a really good map for him because he has a little bit more time. There's no concern on any risk for the Vils. Now, I do think he should take a little bit more risk and go out and mine some of the stone and gold. That will be one of my tips, by the way. Tip number 1 on this episode. Send a couple Vils out there. You don't want to take the risk with a bunch? That's fine. Just like 3 Vils would have brought in so much gold on that. You don't need to do it early, by the way. Don't do it in Dark Age. You can do it later in the game. It's still fine. And also, tip number 2 is relics. If we're talking about it, you got to snag a couple relics. Like, it's just passive gold income that you don't need to think about. Getting a couple of those is really helpful. Oh, man. Big fight. Big fight. Big fight. Yurumis melt the Ghoulems. As they should. The elephants get melted by the Onagers, though. The Blue's Onagers need a meat shield. He doesn't have any meat shield. All the the units are ranged here. The hand cannons shred infantry, though. So, oh, that's a really good fight for Blue. And now there's skirms here. Skirms are good against the hand cannons, but they're not good against the Onagers. And he's, like, clicked the Onagers. I mean, this is a proper meat grinder right here. Just no one knows who's going to win. Just toss the units in. Trebs are safe. Trebs are still sitting in the back, which is good. But this does not end up being a good fight for us, guys. And I know you probably looked at the population and thought, oh, this is like over. Yeah, it's not about pop. Relics is like everything. And being able to take fights properly is kind of everything. And we're starting to see an overextension here. You're already losing some of the battles. You don't need to be like a stubborn old general and send in more. He's now thinking he's lost it. He doesn't think he has any chance. He's like, how do I kill these cannons and these onagers? These things he doesn't understand. So he's going to use the Trebs for that. And now the trebs are exposed. And no, we have no gold, dude. We have no gold. Please, no. He doesn't know his opponent's pop. He doesn't know his opponent's fill count. He just knows that he's dying all the time. Man, our hand cannon's good. These hand cannons have no special bonuses right now, because he didn't get the unique tech. So just keep that in mind. If you get chemistry, you can make your own hand cannons. They are costly, but blue is the gold. And like, so I sped up to watch this live because I saw he was playing, and I didn't want to go to bed yet. And I just thought it's over. Like, how do you look at that, look at this, and think he's got any hope or any fight? You know? It's just kind of a depressing, sad state of affairs. And Blue's found something he really likes. Now, kind of a key moment in the game was when Blue lost all those vills earlier. Blue doesn't have safe farmers, so Blue needs food for the hand cannons. That's going to become an issue. So, yeah, in theory, if we stop this, it's doable. And I mean, Uncle's going to town here. More Yurumi swordsman. He's got one more fight. He doesn't have a lot of wood to sell. It's going to take time for more wood to come in. So he can't get that much more gold, but if he can make enough army to clear this right now, maybe there's a chance. And then, you know, maybe this stone and gold will be mine for once. So, yeah, the unit control isn't ideal. But again, the elephants are tanky, so I don't hate the elephants here. Ideally, yeah, they're always firing on the backside like this, and then the mustaches go in! And the mustache warriors must ask you a question, Blue. How do you counter them? That was a bad joke, but yeah, that was sick. I so thought he was going to resign. And he held on. He fought back. He's had to have so much fighting. Like, this is more fighting than back and forth than some of the 4, 5, 6, 7, 800 elo games that we watch. Some games can just be one big fight and it's over, but this has been crazy back and forth. All the bombard cannons are gone. And so, yeah, Blue has that trickle of gold with the relics. But Blue is really struggling for res now. That was a huge clear. And so this is what it comes back to. Having those farms, right? If we didn't have those farms, if we had relied on the market heavily, there'd be no way that this production is possible. Also, I think Yurumi is a really good call. Like, I laughed at the Dravidians thing because of the no knights. But Yurumis just melt units if they get in close to them. And they're really cheap. And a lot of fights are going to go poorly because it's war, right? And it's lower elo. So, yeah, like that. I think it's a great choice. I can't really hate it. Blue is kind of frozen right now. Now, what Blue would need to do, start producing a few more vills. Yeah, add more farms. Blue is doing that. I think there is a chance that Blue is thinking, well, I have the Wonder, and the Wonder will eventually give me a victory. There would be a countdown on screen if that were to happen, but yeah, I mean, that's just a waste of 3,000 resources. But it looks very nice, very cute, well played, I guess. So I'm not sure exactly what Blue's thinking was. I know, in the case of my uncle, he maybe needs a few more lumber camps, but that's tough to focus on. And he's just going to focus on protecting these traps. So he's got to go for the kill. 0 relics, 0 gold. Even though technically there's some gold out there. And it's going to be a little slow, so we'll speed up a little bit. And watch him push down these buildings. Blue has kind of gone last stand mode. Blue is only producing from inside these walls. Blue is definitely bracing themselves a little bit. We do actually have a bombard cannon being produced from here, but everything's fallen in line behind the walls. Blue is actually farming out here, which, I mean, is raidable, but we don't know about it, so that's not going to be really that easy to do anything about. You can tell, like, my uncle is just really concerned, really worried that there's going to be a big army again, and is really focused on this. It looks like he just went back home to produce again and get a bunch more skirms and Yurumis. But Blue has some time now, produce some more vills, fix the eco a little bit, and can boom back up, and still has the 5 relics. So the timing here is critical. Okay, this is kind of a funny moment. I don't know how he did this. Is this the moment? So he has the trebs. He somehow targeted the wall in front of the castle. Now, I assume that that's a misclick. Because if you click the castle, you take the castle down. That's like kind of the key. But he does this multiple times. So I think right now, like, that's a click onto the wall as well. He really wants those walls down. So the advice there is take down the ranged fortifications first. Leave the walls for after. So I don't know, like maybe he was thinking if he took down the wall in front of the castle that he could use the Yurumis against the castle or something, but bombard cannons from blue roll out. And we don't have anything prepared yet. He notices. And oh man, that was so well played from blue. And now the Yurumis are gonna try and kill all this. The Gulam kind of blocked the units from being able to escape. They're gonna run into the enemy gates. I mean, the bombard cannons go down, the hand cannons go down. All the Yurumis are dead. I mean, or they will die. They're gonna be behind the enemy walls and up against a castle. I'd have to do the math on if that's worth it. It doesn't feel great. Like, to have lost the trebs, to lose the units. Yes, you killed a lot, but again, no freaking gold income, bro. If only there was gold here. 4K gold. But yeah, luckily he has more trebs. So, concerns are starting to pile up right now on if this is going to be doable, if he's going to have enough to finish this. And oh my freaking goodness. We have one of the low elo traps. I've made a video on this. Most confusing text in AoE. Yeah, so Caravan, if you look at that, when you're low on gold, you might assume, oh, there's gold there. That's cool. That should give me gold. Nope. What that does is that makes your trade cards faster. And you realistically can only trade with an ally in a team game, not a 1v1. So that's a waste of gold for that. Coinage. Oh, I need gold. Let's spend some, let's get some coin. Farms got raided. Coin sounds great. Nope. Actually, that reduces the tax when you send resources to an ally. There's no allies here. This is a 1v1. So blue is wasting res on that. But you see what I mean, guys? You see he's taking down the walls first. Very easy fix. Take down the castle first, then the wall. Because, like, if that castle's gone, your units can help attack the wall, too. You know what's better than getting coinage? Selling 10,000 wood for 1,400 gold. Or, like, 15,000 wood for about 2,000 gold. We got gold again. We're going to have more elephant archers on the way. And, yeah, the wall thing is painful. You know what's even worse than coinage? Now we got banking. Like, poor Blue. Poor Blue needs to watch that video. Now it's like 12 coins. It's not just one coin. That might even be 12.5 coins. Nope. You're just wasting more resources, so now there's no tax when you send resources to an ally. And Blue, you don't have an ally because it's a 1v1 game. Honestly, we might go... Is he going to go Heated Shot next? Heated Shot is also super confusing. A lot of people confuse the effect of chemistry with Heated Shot. By the way, Uncle... Ballistics for the projectiles, for the arrow projectiles. Chemistry adds +1 attack onto those projectiles. So, like, your skirms are 3+3 right now. Maybe 3+4. Your trebs would actually have a +1, which doesn't do too much. This would be, instead of 7+3, 7+4. Chemistry is very nice. And chemistry also unlocks the bombard cannon. So, university is a must. Castle's been sitting here for freaking ever. For freaking ever. But... Hey, Uncle had to get his production rolling here. He's got his production rolling. And he's bringing everything forward here to push. Blue is up to 48 vills now from 30. So Blue has shown that with time, they will reboom. But the second people's castles start to go down, they freak out and they respond with whatever they have. And so that's what's happening. Blue is running after the trebs, clicks the trebs. Our skirmishers are all missing because they don't have ballistics. The onager is a problem. Do we have any micro whatsoever? Nope. We're just going to let the skirms there. Let them all die. But it's fine because all our units are dirt cheap. Skirms don't cost gold. Thank God. Yurumis are only 20 gold. And we had a lot of them. And the big finisher here, the big tanks weren't even ready to go. Like, the elephants were on the back, not really helping that much. So, that's huge. And, yeah, blue, 5 relics is nice, but 5 relics is not enough against 80 army, and it is going to be a slow crawl here. But, guys, 29 elos about to bump up quite a bit and topple the 152 elo. Now, sorry to spoil that, but what we are about to witness is quite a slow crawl of a finish. Because he fully intends on taking down a lot of this wall before making a move. And, you know, the towers, like, towers are really kind of disruptive when you run in. You always feel like you got to take the towers down first. Honestly, Blue's going to have a crazy last stand here. Like, Blue's producing more archer ranges, producing more skirms. And skirm is a nice unit against, well, the other person skirms, because you're just canceling out the opponent's skirms, so that's fine. But also any archer unit like an elephant archer. Where skirms will struggle is against the infantry. The Yurumis are a little squishy, but still. And so, yeah, I mean, he's cleared out a whole lot of space here, and he's just freaking terrifying. Like, I would have said, like, maybe click that tower, and then you just yeet your trebs in, sit him here, unpack him, and attack whatever else. But it seems to be he's waiting for the opponent to strike. But again, he clicked the wall there. Like, is that intentional or a misclick? Multiple instances where he's not attacking the building, he's attacking the wall. I'm not sure. Happens enough time where I feel like it's either a very consistent misclick where he clicks slightly to the right on everything, or maybe that was his plan. Again, Blue is in final stand mode. Skirm production's going crazy right now, but is losing population space, losing all the houses. And taking down your opponent's production like that might not feel valuable. They're like, oh, it's just an archer range. No, that's huge. Like, we've only ever had 3 archer ranges on this side. So, also, some of the things I missed, we have new lumber camps for more wood efficiency, so that's nice. Blue, Blue's like, maybe I could sneak a wall in real quick, which is hilarious. Not gonna happen. And we have our sights on those relics, guys. Those all-important relics, and we've got a massive battle. We're gonna go normal speed for this one. Now, there's hand cannons in the mix there. So the Yurumis will go down, and the hand cannons position very nicely. They're just kind of like random. I guess there's only 4. But the fact that they're not on the front lines is good for them. Blue's got more production coming and has home field advantage with the production, right? Oh, I guess here's the other hand cannons. Blue's missing that. Our production is a really long way away, but this is where you should start to see the elephants really look strong here, because they slowly regenerate, and they also do decent damage output. So you got your own faster firing skirms with Dravidians. You also have the elephants for everything else. And the trebs take down the monastery. No golden come for either player now. At least until we sell wood. Blue's gates have been breached. The walls are down. There needs to be more army from us. The other units are still back here. I used to love playing like this. Like, war is in stages. You have to wait until all your units die, and then you make a new force, right? That's what's happening here. He's just like, let's see how this goes. It's so beautiful. Don't stop doing it. Like, we're so spoiled by, you know, everyone who plays multiplayer being really good and really sweaty and going back home and looking away from fights. But it's fun to watch the fights. That's all we do on this channel, right? Like, we look at Eco every now and then, but we're just watching the fights. Thankfully for him, he won the fight. Because if he didn't win the fight, all these trebs go down. And things could have been pretty nasty. And Blue gets really unlucky there. Doesn't get a conversion. So that monk goes down. And yeah, Blue is... all the production from Blue is set here. We have a town bell now and a panic. Just to, you know, hide everybody. If you hear town bell in my uncle's position, that means you're ready for the kill shot. You've got them panicked. And he's producing again. So maybe not looking at the army at the moment. Is going to produce that final force Sold off another 1,200, 1,500. I can't do math wood to get more gold. Even though there's gold literally right freaking there. Just sold all the wood because saving the gold for later. Big freaking army. Trebs really need to be protected soon. This could get kind of dicey. It blue had a little bit more. But the TCs are going down. The towers are going down. The houses are going down. You know what's not going down? My uncle's elo. Elo's going up. This is a 29 elo at this point. And like I said, dipped back down to 0 soon after I uploaded the video. Before he got the tips. Alright? It's so funny to see with no ballistics how that villager is still alive. Blue still doesn't want to call it. Blue's like, man, where's that wonder victory? I really need that wonder victory. But the reinforcements have arrived. And we've got those trebs ready to go for that castle. Really smart. Like, the treb theory stuff has been sick. Creep forward with trebuchets and protect those trebs at all costs. These trebs have done so much. Such a satisfying game to watch. The castle's down. The Yurumis run in. We'll kill the rest of the army here. Finding villager kills as well. Finds the wonder. And the opponent taps out. And like I said, the 3 times that these guys had played each other prior, my uncle had lost. There were some shorter games. There were some longer games. I only watched 2 of them. In one of those games, that first attack, blue would have won. Right? He was very well prepared in this scenario. And he wasn't prepared because he didn't know who he was playing. But, yeah, like, he had more army this time, and he had good upgrades, and he had those trebs prepared because of those tips and because of the better eco management. And that's how he was able to get the win here. So, a crazy game, a good game, a slow creep of a game. But, as I said in the first episode, when he was basically at 0 elo, the eco's there. The eco's there. The military's now improved. It's not as random. There's a game plan. He likes the Yurumis. He likes the elephants. That's a tough comp to stop. The real thing is we got to get you some gold, man. We got to get you some gold for that because both those units are gold units. So maybe mine some gold next time and get some relics, but that's a pretty good win. So final thing here before we look at his profile real quick. I want to show you this very satisfying thing to look at. These trebuchets did 98,000 damage. 98,000 damage. Absolutely incredible. I know he probably made a lot of trebs this game, but like he still would always get to that core number of trebuchets, use those trebuchets and push forward. Things were really good there. So you're probably wondering at this point, well, what is his elo now? Because that was just one game. And I wanted to show you what he's been doing this week. He's played a lot of games. So this is around the time he saw the video. He ended up with Dravidians, lost the first 2, won a game that was only 2 minutes, so that isn't legit, right? We then go into some games where he ended up losing against a player playing Teutons. He was getting pressured faster than he was ready for. He was not ready for that pressure. And honestly, it didn't look good. Lost. A bunch of losses. Lost. This is where he fell down to 0 elo again. Then he started to find a little bit of success. We had a win here on Land Nomad that was about 60 minutes. He lost a game against a 400 elo player, which is maybe no shame because there's a pretty big gap. Won a 40-minute game. That was legit as well. Loss. Very, very long loss, 187 minutes. And this is where he ran into the guy that we just talked about, this Chite guy. He lost the first game on Shoals, lost the second game on Arabia, lost the third game on Land Nomad, before getting an 87-minute victory on Mega Random. Now, guys, this is where things started to click for him. This is where he started to really feel himself. In some of those games, it didn't feel like there was a distinct game plan. He wasn't quite as committed to some of these things. Lost this game. This is actually a very interesting game. Honestly, could have been another episode. He got pushed by a no upgrade light cav skirmisher comp with a couple trebuchets and early imp. The next game, he was ready. I think like that was actually a big moment in his career. He was ready. He stopped that guy. He beat that army. He won. Lost an 80-minute game. Won the game we just watched against him. Won a fluke because someone resigned. Doesn't count. Then won a 48-minute game. And you notice that he's a 68 elo. He's climbing up. Lost a 90-minute game. Lost a 30-minute game. Won a 72-minute game last night, which I also watched. And he was very close to 100 elo. He was at 90 freaking elo. And I just pulled up the profile. And I was about to say he's at 90 elo, which would be hilarious because, you know, T90. But he played a game while I was recording it and apparently lost that one. But he has been on the grind, guys, and he's making progress. And he's done quite well. And I really think that even if he doesn't add additional hotkeys, even if he sticks to the same exact game plan, there's going to be improvement because he'll get a better understanding of what fights work and maybe unit control and maybe mine is gold and just a couple small things like that. So yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. He's playing well. He's improving. Now, I do have some tips that I'll give, just some minor things that I think can be improved that we maybe already talked about. The first one is university upgrades. He already has the blacksmith and he already has the economic upgrades. There's pretty much just one more thing you got to look to, and that's university. Getting the university upgrades is going to help with a variety of different things. I would suggest that maybe you read them in the tech tree or something, but you don't really have to. You could just click them all. That's what a lot of people do. The second thing I suggest is take some of the additional golds and stones outside of the map. It seems like the game plan is to turtle up and not take losses and then be ready and have like a home base. Well, having a few stragglers that leave your base that you're okay with losing is not a bad game plan. In that game, if that would have happened, Blue would have eventually killed those villagers, but that would have been a lot of stone and a lot of gold that was mined that would have really helped out in the long term. Honestly, the other thing here, he already had kind of done. There were 3 archer ranges and 3 castles for production there, but just bump those numbers up. The amount of times that 15,000 wood was sold, there's a lot of wood in the bank. Having more than 3 archer ranges is great there. Having 5, having 6, having 7, having 8. At least in that game, there was probably the time to do that. And when you have those types of games where it's like this big slog, which is nonstop action, I think that can be the key. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much again to everyone who's left a comment enjoying this. I did want to end reading a text from my uncle, which came in earlier today because I had asked him a couple questions. The first one was, did he play AoE 2 back in the day? He did not. He only played AoE 2 because he knew about my channel. So that's pretty cool. The other question was, what are your favorite parts about the game thus far? He says, I am beginning to appreciate the strategy needed. Primarily, I am stubborn and hate that people beat me. So I guess I enjoy kicking someone's ass. So yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. He's got that mentality, man. He's got that mentality. You have to. If you lose that many games, he's played 157 games, has not had many wins. You've got to have a little bit of want to improve and want to win. So my family's not very competitive. My parents growing up never really understood why I hated to lose so much. It's nice to know that my uncle understands it and is beginning to understand the strategy and some of the complexities of the game. So yeah, guys, that is it. Hope you enjoyed. Please like the video, leave a comment, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I'll see you guys in the next one.